What's going on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome back to the channel. A little bit of an impromptu video reacting to the Jamal Adams trade. There's going to be a lot of things that we kind of go through here. First, we're just going to talk about the trade as a football fan. Then I'm going to talk about it as an Eagle fan because Jamal Adams did make, and his agent leaked that Philadelphia was on that wish list of teams. And I'll just give you my review of that from an Eagle fan standpoint. And then we're going to finish up with kind of discussing my Madden 21 main channel franchise team. And what's going on with the Jets kind of deal. Does that change anything? So first off, the trade, Jamal Adams. The Jets send Jamal Adams on a 4th-round pick for 2 first-rounders, a 3rd-rounder, and Bradley McDougald, who's a solid safety. So when I'm looking at this, every time a trade like this happens, you always go, who's the winner, who's the loser? Well, no one got finessed. It's not like it's not even in the same area code as the DeAndre Hopkins, Houston Texans, Arizona Cardinal trade, I don't think. But if I had to pick a winner, I'd probably say the Jets. You look at this from the Jets. If they don't hammer out a deal, you get a disgruntled Jamal Adams playing for one more season, and then he's gone. There's no way he's re-signing with you. He gone. So the fact that you got at a position that's not a premium position, it's not a disrespected position, the safety spot, but it's not a premium position. It's not an edge rusher. It's not a quarterback. It's not a skill position player. Well, really, let's be honest, running back is a skill position player, and it's really undervalued. But it's not, it's not a quarterback. It's not a wide receiver. It's not an offensive tackle. It's if you're ranking the premium positions, it's outside of the top 5, I would say. And they still were able to get 2 first-round picks, a 3rd, and a guy that's going to be a solid starter for them. Bradley McDougald is not a liability. He's not a Pro Bowl player, but he's not. He's played some solid football there back when he was with Tampa, and then he went to Seattle. So I think if I had to pick a winner from this, just the fact that you can recoup 2 first-round picks for a guy that's basically going to bounce, and you would have got, what, 3rd-round comp pick back from Jamal Adams hitting free agency, I think I'm going to have to give the edge to the Jets. But when you look at Seattle, they're trying to rebuild that Legion of Boom. You look at Seattle, ever since the Legion of Boom kind of exploded, what are they bringing to the table in a very, very competitive NFC West? Every year, you have, obviously the big changes going on with the 49ers over the last couple of years since Kyle Shanahan's been there, and they saw some of that results last year, making it to the Super Bowl. So they're getting ready to gear up for that. You look at the Arizona Cardinals, making the big splash for DeAndre Hopkins, year 2 for Kyler Murray. Could be, if you want to risk a little bit of money there, Kyler Murray, good odds for making money if you want to take kind of a long shot for an MVP bet. So you kind of look at Arizona, they're making moves to try to do it. But then you look at Seattle, and it feels like for the last, I don't know what exactly was the year that they kind of blew up the Legion of Boom, but it's been like, what are the Seattle Seahawks bringing to the table? It's like, well, we have Russell Wilson and Bobby Wagner. And then last year, we got DK Metcalf. But they haven't been making as big of moves as the other teams in their division. Obviously, the Rams making trades left, right, and center. So to kind of also combat that, if you're looking at this as a Seattle fan and you think Seattle won, Seattle has been dog shit with their first-round picks. So you look at this as a Seattle fan, you're trading probably 2 guys that were projected to go in the 3rd round that Seattle would have ended up drafting in the 1st for Jamal Adams, a sure thing. So I think a lot of Seattle Seahawks fans have been disgruntled, at the say the very least, with some of their first few round picks. LJ Collier, you got Rashad Penny. It's been head-scratching. And if they don't do that, they just trade back. So I think if you're a Seahawks fan, you're still very happy with this. I just think push comes to shove, knowing that the Seahawks still have to pay Jamal Adams. I'm giving the slight edge to the New York Jets. But when you look at this generally as the 2 teams going to next year, Jets are always on a rebuild. So they just got way more picks to continue to do that rebuild. And I think how Jamal Adams kind of facilitated this deal by trashing Adam Gase, it makes you feel like if you're the Jets, you have all the salary cap, you have all these picks. But if you have a head coach problem, people don't want to go play for that guy. I think if I was a football player, Adam Gase would be one of the last head coaches I want to play for. He has that Chip Kelly complex. You saw it in Miami. You could probably almost throw in Jamal Adams, but in Miami, he would always just trade away really talented players. You'd be like, oh, trust the scheme, trust the system. We don't need these guys. And then bada boom, bada bing, he's fired because they're not good enough. So I think, first of all, if I'm the Jets, the best way to complete this rebuild is to fire Adam Gase and go in a new direction. But it's a rebuild for the Jets. So they just got a lot of picks. It's a win. You look at Seattle, again, you got everyone else in the division making moves. Rams probably regress this offseason, but you look at the Rams over the last 2-3 years, they have gone all in on trying to win. Same with Arizona this offseason. San Francisco, didn't really lose much outside of DeForest Buckner and they replace that with Javon Kinlaw, they're going to be looking to get back to the Super Bowl. So the Jets have just helped Seattle be that much more competitive within their own division. I think you could definitely make a valid argument that the NFC West is going to be the most competitive division in football next season. So I think it's a win-win on both sides. I'd give the slight edge to the Jets, but generally speaking, there's no losers. No one got finessed here, and I think both fan bases should be happy, should definitely be happy. So the next thing to talk about is this as an Eagle fan, because Philadelphia was on that short list. I never made videos talking about this or breaking it down because I never thought it was going to happen. We could have probably opened that door because Howie Roseman and Joe Douglas worked together here in Philadelphia. They were basically our front office when we won the Super Bowl. So I'm sure that if they wanted to make a deal, we might have an easier access point because of that relationship. You could argue because we lost Malcolm Jenkins, who's one of the better safeties in the league, that we would be looking to bring another big-time safety, even though Jamal Adams and Malcolm Jenkins, very different type players. But, the fact that we missed out on it's no bummer to me. The biggest win for the Eagle fans is that he didn't go to Dallas. I thought Dallas for sure would be the team that would make some sort of stupid deal to bring in Jamal Adams. Dallas has their own salary cap issues, which would have been probably the big hang-up there because Jamal Adams is not going to get traded to a team that's not going to be able to give him a long-term extension, and I don't think Dallas would be able to do that. But he didn't go to Dallas. We don't have to worry about Jamal Adams being in the division. That's a win for the Eagles. That's a nice win for the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm not going to make some big-ass post about, oh, my God, Philly just dropped the ball on this one, not traded for Jamal. It would be awesome to have a Jamal Adams. Right now, no one on the Philadelphia Eagles team, for me, I'm looking to get a new jersey, right? There's not one guy that I'm like, I have to go get his jersey. I'm not getting a Jalen Reagor jersey. You know what I'm saying? I'm not getting a Derek Barnett jersey. I'm not going to get a Nickel Roby-Coleman jersey. I'm not going to get a Darius Slay jersey just yet. If we got to trade for Jamal Adams, I'd be ordering that shit yesterday. But he didn't go to Dallas. It's still a nice win. So the final part is kind of opening up a discussion about our Madden 21 team here on the franchise. And before I do that, first things first, if you tweet, anytime I tweet about anything Madden, I get, if I get 20 responses, probably 5 of them are just something that's not related to my tweet, which is usually a question, and it's just yada, 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 hashtag fix Madden franchise. You do that shit, that started to piss me off, you're getting muted. I'm blocking you. Don't want to see, you're targeting the wrong person here. I'm an ally. I've been as vocal as not maybe as anybody, but for someone of my stature and my influence, I suppose, I guess you could say, in the Madden community, I've been very vocal of hashtag fix Madden franchise on any of these stupid Madden posts. We're like, hey, do you want to see what Jalen Reagor's toughness rating is? No, asshole. Show me the goddamn update of the franchise mode. But when I post stuff about Madden and people they're doing that, you getting blocked because that's just annoying as shit. But I was posting about what my Madden 21 franchise is going to be. I had a short list, 4 teams. We had the Washington football team was one of them, and obviously very interesting team to go on a rebuild. Questions over quarterback, the whole, if we do storylines here, that's definitely one of the aspects that kind of set my franchise modes apart from the other stuff that goes around on YouTube. You couldn't, easiest ones are probably coming from the Washington Redskins, Washington football team. They're going to have new rebranding stuff, but ultimately the Redskins, while they remain on that list, I'm an Eagles fan. There's just no way that it wouldn't end up turning into a meme. I don't want to play against Philly. I don't want to be in that division. But, they are an interesting enough team that they remained on that list. We had the Detroit Lions. Was another team, obviously, with the Detroit Lions. You have the appeal of they've never won a Super Bowl. But when you look at the rosters for Madden 21, they got a pretty spicy roster. Stafford, bounce back year. You got DeAndre Swift. Kenny Galladay's a beast. You got TJ Hawkinson. You go to the defensive side. They just got Jeff Okudah, who's an absolute stud. You got Trey Flowers on that D-line there. So, from a talent standpoint, Detroit might not be the hardest of a rebuild team, but they're still a very, very solid and exciting franchise. You have the Carolina Panthers. Obviously, C4 might be a little bit biased because Christian McCaffrey, and, obviously is a former white running back. The best running back in the league is a white guy. Maybe I want to be Carolina. It's a great rebuild. I love Matt Rule. It's a little bit different. You got Teddy Bridgewater. Questions about the quarterback spot. A lot of holes, pretty much. And you got a lot of speed. Fun offense. Robbie Anderson got speed. Curtis Samuel got speed. DJ Moore got speed. But defense kind of sucks. Got to replace Luke Kuechly. So there's storylines there. But ultimately, we also had the Jets. The Jets were a team that I was considering. The only team in the AFC that I was considering doing. I'll tell you right now, the Jets were not at the top of the list. I was getting ready to work on my teaser trailer that I'm going to drop the last Saturday before Madden drops. The Jets were not the pole position. The question needs to be, and what I'm just going to look for some feedback here, is that should the Jets now be the lead dog in my Madden 21 franchise? Because you look at it, you look at the Jets on paper before yesterday. Let's say yesterday. You're like, well, they kind of suck. Definitely a lot of work to do on this Jets team. They do have Sam Darnold, which if you're comparing the Jets quarterback situation to all the other teams we just mentioned, in terms of upside, Darnold probably has the most upside within a Madden franchise. So that was kind of going against. But ultimately, you look at it, it's like it's a bad team. It's probably the biggest rebuild team we could pick. But they had Jamal Adams. And Jamal Adams with those overpowered X-Factor abilities, he single-handedly would be able to win you at least like 1 to 2 games a year because he'd get 4 or 5 goddamn fumbles. So now that's gone, maybe there's even more reason to pick the Jets as my Madden team, right? Because they're going to be even worse. They're going to be even worse. And I'll tell you right now, I pray for anybody that's going against Seattle in Madden 21, having Bobby Wagner and Jamal Adams, both with Avalanche. Avalanche being the most overpowered ability in the game. Instant fumbles, left, right, and center. I do not favor anybody that has to play Seattle. So you would think, though, with Jamal Adams getting traded, that the Jets should very well be like my top franchise team. But on the other side, I'm being, look at both sides of the argument. Now, the Jets have 3 first-round picks over the next 2 years. That seems pretty cheesy. Seems like, with my real draft classes, we're going to be getting more likely than not 3 franchise players the next 2. It's just one of those things where they have 4 picks, 4 first-round picks. I think that might be a little easy in a way. If they got finesse like Houston did and didn't get multiple firsts and stuff like that, I might be even more optimistic, maybe even excited to pick the Jets as my team. But I think on the downswing, well, yes, they lost Jamal Adams. That's a huge loss from a roster standpoint. Makes the Jets that much more challenging of a team with 4 first-round picks. I don't know. I feel like it kind of compensates enough that it's like that could be kind of overpowered a little bit. But I definitely want to hear what you guys want to think. Those are the 4 teams that we're still thinking about. I'll say at least the Jets making this move has made me open up my choice here. Before I was locked in, I was getting ready to make the trailer for the team I was going to pick. Because this Jets move, I'm going to kind of open it back up again and see what you guys think. See if someone can have a passionate, rant to make me pick the Jets or to make me pick the Panthers, to make me pick the Lions, to make me pick the not Redskins, but the Washington football team. So let me know in the comment section below what team you want to see me use as my Madden 21 franchise. If you're a Jet fan, how do you feel about this trade? If you're a Seahawks fan, how do you feel about this trade? Everything in between, let me know in the comment section below. But that is it for me today, guys. Thanks for watching, and until next time, it's C4 saying peace out.